Hey everybody, it's Spoonie here in Los Angeles for E3 2012. I just checked out the Nintendo conference. I was gonna give you my thoughts on the whole thing. I got a lot of them, but I got so many I think I'm gonna need to bring in some friends who also saw the conference. May I introduce to you, Angry Joe, from the Angry Joe Show and Blistered Thumbs. No, over here, man. And, of course, my own personal Nintendo fanboy, Juwario. You can tell he likes Nintendo because he has a Wario hat.
What?
No, it's a brand new Wario hat, too.
Nice and clean.
Good God, sir, you need a haircut.
No.
Are you trying to do the flowing locks? Barbarian.
Haircut, you hippie.
No, I'm working on
Conan style.
I'm working on my my Loki cosplay.
Okay, excellent.
I'm gonna slick it back.
That does look good.
See
If you
that?
get one of those badass helmets
Bit
with
the-
the horns.
With the horn.
But yeah, I missed the other two conferences, which I'm told is a good thing because
Okay, and I missed I missed half the Nintendo, just the beginning half, and I caught the other ones. So I can tell you in a nutshell, Microsoft, they're coasting. What's going on with Microsoft? That was really poor showing.
I'll tell you what's going on with Microsoft is they have nothing because I think they're prepping up for next year with a new console launch, and that's really the story of this E3 is. There's really low expectations for this E3 because there's no new consoles being announced.
Wii U?
That's exactly my point.
Okay.
The only console that is on the horizon for the new console cycle is the Wii U, and therefore it's really the only company people are, I think, paying attention to, and really the only conference that was even generating much buzz because it's the only company that's talking
You're
about
wrong.
new things.
You're wrong, okay? Because a lot of people say that I'm an Xbox fanboy. It's not. I just own the Xbox console, and I play my games primarily on there on the PC. But I'll tell you, from an Xbox presumed fanboy, Sony blew them away. Once again, it happened last year too. Sony knows how to run their press conferences, okay? They start off strong as a 1-2 punch. They came out with Beyond from the creators of Heavy Rain, and then they did All-Stars, which is a rip-off of Nintendo's super
I hated
popular
Heavy Rain so much.
Did you hate Heavy
I
Rain so much?
hated Heavy
Like, listen, I didn't play Heavy Rain, but this new one looks like it has more gameplay elements in it. Have you need to see the press
No, I
conference.
believe you,
Sony's press conference was really impressive because they got a lot of really exclusive titles just to that console. You know, The Last of Us, Beyond what I just said there. So I was really impressed by that, and I was like, okay, so what is Nintendo going to bring to the table? And I thought that that's where all the pizzazz and all the badassery is going to lie because they teased the console last year.
Yeah.
Now it's time to really show what you got. And
Lackluster. It was completely lackluster.
And I'm stunned to hear that from you because you were very forgiving of the 3DS, which I came down on like the God of Thunder.
And I hated it. The first time I held it in my hands, I did not want to own one. And later on, when I realized it's not a 3D system, it's an AR system, that changed my mind. I'm excited for the Wii U, but I think that they didn't show things that would get you excited for the console. They showed how it works. People were questioning, what's that little box there? What's this? Oh, it reads little cards. Oh,
you
that's
talked
a cool
about
idea.
batteries for 3 hours.
But oh my gosh, the rest of it was just so dull.
Yeah.
Now they showed some good family-friendly games, and you know, a lot of hardcore gamers forget that, you know, as a family-friendly, you know, families play games too, not just hardcore gamers, and that's what Nintendo is specified for. So a lot of their games kind of looked kiddish and goofy. Arkham City looked very good.
See, you're sounding like he's sounding like me last year because when they announced 3DS, I came down on them and I was like, "What are the launch titles? You got Mario, you got Zelda,
Kid
you got
Icarus?
Metroid."
Or no, that was later.
They announced
it
Kid
was later.
Icarus though. They announced it, and I'm like, this is a big yawn. There's nothing new here. Nothing new. And so there was new stuff at the Nintendo press conference, but
Nintendo Land?
Yeah, I know, but it took a while to get there because they started out Pikmin. I don't care about Pikmin.
A lot of Nintendo people
I
do.
do. We
See,
were
I
excited
knew that
for
would make
Pikmin.
you excited.
That was exciting.
And then they
But
started,
it is niche.
And then they started with the other huge announcements, and they were very excited about this. They had they had these big light changes, and the lights were sweeping around, and the bat signal pops up, and they're like,
They were trying to be
now-
Microsoft for crying out loud.
And now announcing for the Wii U, Batman Arkham City.
Yeah, that was going to be a new Batman game from Rocksteady. I was like,
Last
okay, here we
year,
go. And then it's like Arkham City.
played
Wait.
it.
And I was like,
Say Arkham
I almost
City.
wanted to catcall. I was like, seen it, you know. And so like they're like, oh, but it has all this interactivity with the tablet,
Yeah.
which is really just amounting to scrolling through inventory, which is like the bare minimum of what.
Well, and the scanning was a
and the battering, but the thing is with the remote control battering, you can do that with the thumbstick. And I'm
But
not
see, I
saying
didn't see the battering when you throw in the controller.
no, you're
yanking it back with the cable.
some kid is gonna do that.
Oh, for
and
sure.
they're going to come out with a wrist strap that's like this
For the new
ultra
Wii.
industrial.
Some kid is gonna do that remote control battering. But they and even Pikmin didn't impress me because they're like, okay, I understood what they were going for with like they said you can get a fine detail on the big screen and you can have like a mini map to see the overview on your tablet screen, and that's great. But the thing is, you could do that just as easily with picture-in-picture on the TV screen, and actually, it's going to be much more distracting having to do this all the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Well, I don't think this is a big
Well,
deal. I think it's great
even
for
this.
inventories type systems, especially in RPGs, so that I don't have to press start
But-
and open up the.
That leads to the next question. I think that's going to be something people are going to complain about. People still complain about the Xbox controllers. How ergonomic is this thing really going to be? To me, it looks bulky. To me, it looks heavy.
Have you
Oh,
held
that's
it?
true. It's like
Have
a,
you held it?
No, I have not.
Last year, I got to hold it, and it's surprisingly light.
Okay,
And it feels
Was that a
good in your
demo
hand.
model? Did it have batteries?
It was
and
the
all this
first
good
demo.
stuff?
It was when they were demoing the mini games that they were showing to show you how this works and how the gyro.
Sure.
And you can look 360 all
Okay,
over.
sure.
And I went in there. They have a little ridge on the side. Your fingers fit nicely there. There's a little grip.
Did they say
Your
how
fingers in
long
there.
that thing lasts though?
They
on battery
did not
power?
say anything
Yeah,
about
see.
that. So that's the question. I mean, with a 3DS only lasting 3 to 5 hours
Yeah.
on 3D mode, about 8 hours normally.
What do you think
Do.
an LED lit screen is going to do, on a controller with that type of interactivity?
That-
It's
I'm
gotta be
curious to
rechargeable.
see what the
It's
range
gotta
is
be
on it.
rechargeable.
Taking it into
that lends
other rooms.
question to the weight of it because the
Yeah.
longer the battery life, the more it's going to weigh. That's
Right.
just the way it's going to be.
Well,
So
with Wiimotes having
But you have to
a
admit,
good
look, from
battery
a
life,
guy who loves RPGs, don't you think that's cool?
Oh, I can
Being
see-
able to have an inventory system
That
and
was-
not having to put shit on the screen.
Change
That's
weapons
huge.
right
And
away,
don't
which
get me
is
wrong.
fluid.
Don't get me wrong. The one thing this press conference,
But they didn't show anything with that,
right.
know?
The one thing this press conference
Oh,
conveyed
back.
to me was the potential. They showed a focus on cooperative and team-based gameplay, which I like. They showed
Five-player cooperative.
They
They're
showed
up in
they
the
showed
ante.
what the big buzzword was asymmetrical gaming, where the person holding the tablet and like depending on what controller you're holding, the gameplay is different. So with Just Dance, you can have somebody calling out the dance moves. With like Luigi's Mansion, you can have somebody controlling the enemy and the other guys are teaming up against them.
So that's cool. It's like a dungeon master with players.
Right. So I can definitely see the potential there. However, I had to
Yes.
use my imagination to see that because the games were very underwhelming. And
Yeah,
so
they were.
it took to like the 3/4 point for me to even start to get excited about anything I was seeing because let's just run through some of the games they were announcing. Batman,
Pikmin.
Ninja Gaiden 3. What else?
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo.
Nintendo Land.
Oh no, there was a Mario game, wasn't
Super
there?
Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario
Super Mario U.
Super Mario U. They're doing that 64 thing where everything is named Zombie U, Super Mario U.
Zombie
Fit.
U actually to me looked really interesting.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Look,
I'm
it's
not kidding. It
they've shown
looked interesting.
cinematics. Is
They
that
showed-
gameplay?
they showed gameplay.
It was gameplay
Yeah.
because that first trailer in the Ubisoft press conference, or not? Yeah, was it Ubisoft? Which company does Pikmin? I think or
Nintendo.
Zombie-
Nintendo.
No, the actual Zombie U that comes
Ubisoft.
from
Oh,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft,
Yeah,
yeah.
see, in their press conference, it was nothing but cinematics. So they actually showed gameplay. And what did you think about the graphics?
Well, that was another fault of the conference is they were trying to cram so much into a 1 hour conference. They really blitzed through the gameplay for Zombie U, which was really the most exciting thing they had to show there.
Yeah.
Was
so
it?
That was
Was
the
it?
only exciting
See, it was
thing.
disappointing in the Ubisoft, and I was writing down interviews and stuff, and I was trying to play it in the background, so I didn't really get a chance to dive into Zombie U. Tell me a little bit about it. What are you excited about it? Does it utilize the 5-player cooperative thing?
Actually, they
no,
talked
it's a
nothing
single player
about
game.
that.
That's
Yeah.
I think
It's a single-player game?
I would think
Yeah.
so. I can't
You could
imagine.
imagine what you could have done with like a zombie master directing the zombies and players and stuff.
I
Like,
could see that working with
that
like
would be
if you
really
adapted
cool.
if you adapted Left 4 Dead.
So there's so much potential basically in the Wii U. Unfortunately, the press conference itself, if you have to grade it, it was really disappointing.
Yeah.
There were no big titles, no system specs, no real release date. Well, didn't they
They
say?
gave system specs.
Oh
to
yeah,
all
and
three.
it's going to come
Well,
out
what
2012.
system specs?
Well, they did the rundown of the tablet mainly. They
No,
didn't
but
give
I
it-
want to
they
know how
didn't give a price
powerful
point,
the
which I thought
chip
was
is, and I want to know
They
if
didn't
it's
go
at,
into
at
that.
they
least
didn't go
as
into that.
good as an Xbox 360 or
It
a
is at
PlayStation
least
4.
as
It will be
They
at
actually-
least as
Well, it better
They went
be. It's
into
the
that
new
last year.
generation. But I'm talking about, is it going to be better than the upcoming? Is it going to be able to compete with the new consoles coming next year, which you said is the exciting E3?
Another, like
I don't know.
they really were trying to blow my skirt up with Scribble Knots.
They've we've hit the graphics. Any better. It just, I think we've hit the wall with graphics. Any other system that comes out from PlayStation 3 or Xbox, it's not going to be it's going to have the graphics that you've got right now.
No.
It's just going to be able to do different things.
I don't know about that.
Now I have to raise the question because we're talking being really underwhelmed. However,
Okay.
we have to ask ourselves if we're kind of in the target audience for this kind of thing because they specifically said they were gearing more towards the casual gamer.
No,
more
the target
towards-
audience is everyone. They want to sell as many consoles as possible.
No, more
And
towards
for us-
families, more towards casual gamers, and more towards groups. So you're
Okay.
gonna deal with a
Okay.
lot more party games. You're gonna deal with a lot more lighter flavored games.
So it's basically we too, you know, they don't care about
Yes.
railing in hardcore gamers.
No.
They did Zombie U for us, and that's pretty much it, right? Otherwise, they were just catering to their fan base. Scribblenauts, Pikmin, which are big things for the niche audiences that they already have.
Which is why it's
I was just expecting more because they said we're going to bring on more third-party support. We're going to do hardcore games as well. We're
well,
gonna do
the
that.
only third party
And
support I
as-
saw was Ubisoft. But.
Right, and as far as that went, it was a complete disappointment, and that's why I'm still not convinced to buy the Wii U. Like, the greatest argument is I have a motion tracker with Aliens Colonial Marines.
No, the greatest-
That's the only argument I have
How-
right
there-
now.
that was
for me
another
myself.
game. They were doing Scribblenauts, Ninja Gaiden 3, Aliens, Colonial Marines. Like every game I saw from there was something I
Some
already played.
we are already seen with a gimmick thing.
However,
Even the Just Dance. At least they didn't bring out Usher for the Just Dance. I even leaned over to Psycho
but I
Tiger and I
was-
said, and now Just Dance with Usher. you
come
know?
on, I want to dance with moves like Jagger. Come on. But really, no. The best argument for buying a Wii U is I've got a kid. That's the
Okay,
best
yeah,
argument
yeah.
because I mean that's what it really comes down to. And so if it seems like I'm coming down hard at Nintendo, and I have come down in the past, and I've come down with them really hard.
Yeah.
What it comes down to is I'm a 31-year-old guy. I'm not the guy they're making games for. They're making Super Mario, they're making Zelda, they're making Metroid, and they're making Paper Mario. It's just stuff I don't play anymore. But it's stuff for a kid. Like, you know, if you're a 14-year-old kid,
If
this
they
is-
showed Zelda, would you have been excited?
no.
No.
Well, no. Here, let me requalify that. If they had done something new with Zelda, definitely yes. But if they had just done, if they had come out with Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time
With an
you,
inventory system.
with you,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, I'd have stood up and just like, ah, I'm not buying Ocarina of Time again. Okay,
Yeah.
one more time. Like, no.
Well, but I want to address one point you said. It's like there's still problems with the Xbox 360 controllers. Like,
People
that's
complain
funny
that it's-
because Wii U just announced the Wii Pro controller, which looks exactly like an Xbox 360
No,
controller.
it doesn't. It
There's
doesn't because
Yeah.
the thumbsticks. It's weird. As I'm so used to having the kind of off kilter thumbsticks. This one has the thumbsticks over the buttons. I'm never going to get used to that. I'm going to be this old man being like, how?
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
you're
do
right.
this.
Oh, that's right. The two sticks
The
are
buttons.
up top.
The thumbsticks are on top and the buttons are beneath.
Right, rather than okay, yeah.
So it's swapped.
So I
That's simple to get used to. I don't know about that.
I don't know about
3
that.
days you're done. 3 days.
I
you'll
don't
be
know,
fine.
man. I don't know.
And then you'll pick up an Xbox controller and like, oh my
You
god,
needed,
how
you
did I
needed to see the
control
Sony
this
press
thing?
conference and the Microsoft press conference, and then so that we could have given it a final grade. But what would be your grade for this Microsoft, or not Microsoft, but Nintendo press conference?
Runner on second, 2 strikes, and batter with 2 fouls.
Okay.
It was pretty lackluster.
Wow.
I have to. No, I
And
have to,
that's come from Justin.
I have to qualify this by saying this E3, there's a lot of pessimism in the air, or at least not pessimism, apathy in the air
Yeah.
for this E3 because there's no new consoles coming out.
Everybody knows essentially the next E3 you're gonna have some major
The
announcements.
next E3 is the big conference, and so this year it kind of feels like all the developers are treading water until the next consoles are released. So really,
Yeah.
the only company with any buzz behind it is
It's
Nintendo
Sony.
because they're at
No, because they had new titles, new IPs. If you look at Microsoft's press conference, it's the same thing. You got your
Okay,
Halo,
no,
and you got your Gears of War.
I'm talking expectations though. Like the only
Oh, okay, well-
companies we had expectations of right this year were Nintendo, because Microsoft
That's true.
we're gonna figure they're gonna be treading water until the next Xbox.
Yes.
Sony, we figure they're gonna be treading water until the next PlayStation.
But I was surprised with the amount of new IPs that look exciting. And what you're saying though is no, the Nintendo is the one that actually had something to prove, and
Yeah.
they failed to
So
prove
yeah,
it.
I'm thinking in terms of like, this was their year to really get us excited about the Wii U.
Yes.
I don't think they did that.
Right.
Now, to be fair, they are making it very accessible this year, where last year was mainly just a tech demo, so the accessibility will help them out a great deal. I just don't think that's been the weakness for Nintendo for a long time, is having a strong launch catalog.
Well, do you think they messed up and sort of tripped over themselves by revealing it last year? Do you think if they would have waited till this year, it would have had
Because they got
more
the
impact?
because they got the Nintendo did a great move last year, but because they got the jump on the entire market.
Yeah, because
they,
that, and then last year we thought Nintendo, Nintendo won the conference with Wii U. It was my personal opinion. It was between Sony and Nintendo last year, and I think Nintendo edged them out just because of the Wii U. Now this year, it was time for them to deliver, and they did not deliver. Not for me.
Not at the conference. And having
So it's gonna take
another
them yet
thing
another
tonight.
year.
Well, they've got they've got another conference tonight. You know,
The
a
3DS.
developers roundtable, and the 3DS thing.
But they
which
would
was
have
a big
revealed all the
disappointment.
badass stuff at
And
the
then
conference.
tomorrow they've got some more stuff too.
I
It's
know,
like-
but I'm telling you, they would have revealed everything they had
I
that
think
was
so.
major at their
they,
conference.
they
They're not
brought
gonna
the
save
they
it.
brought the biggest guns they had out
Yes.
for this.
Yeah.
Now here's just a. I got two things to say, and I guess I'll stick with the features here. One of the other major features they were putting out was the social networking aspect of it, with Nintendo Land and the dashboard where you had all the little Mii's running around, gathering around billboards and talking and stuff like that.
Microsoft did that too. We're going to be the hub of where you.
Yeah, but did you see it was on
do
the actual
everything.
map? Like, I don't want that shit on my map. You know, it's like that's really I'm sure you can turn it off. Actually, it's
You could probably change it.
Now, but the
guaranteed
thing, but why is that? I just don't know how. What's the point? You know, like.
Well, you saw in that really awkward demo pre-Nintendo E3 video where they had that stoner or hippie
Oh,
guy
yeah,
with
that-
calling his friend. The point is that if you can't beat a boss, then you go on there and you sort of tweet through Nintendo Network, sort of. And how
And
do I
your
beat
buddies
this boss?
and
And
the
it's like,
other
you got to do
people
this.
help you.
Here's where I'm the old man. If I'm playing Super Mario Brothers, I don't want some fucking asshole like jumping into my game as like Toad and stealing my shit. 'Cause
No,
I-
he's
I know-
no, you don't.
no,
they-
they
I
don't
know
do
that's gonna
this.
happen though.
No, they don't jump in the game.
I also like how in Super Mario there's Mario, Luigi, and two anonymous Toad fuckers.
They still haven't fixed that. That pissed me
What do you
off.
mean? What-
There's
Well,
four
they're only-
players. There's 4 players in Super Mario.
So
right?
where's
Where's
Waluigi?
Mario?
There's-
Where's
it's-
Peach?
It's Mario, Luigi,
Waluigi.
and like
And the
two
two
fucking
Toads.
random toadstool motherfuckers who are like hopping around. And
Wait,
I'm like,
you don't know. There's probably other
No!
characters.
No,
They would
there's
not
not.
just
I
show
swear to you,
that
there's
was
not.
on the 4-player Mario.
I guarantee
was
you
just
how you
two
can
Toads.
unlock other characters. 'cause
No.
That would be retarded.
it is retarded.
It is retarded.
It will be retarded. The retardation is coming. And I'm just asking, like, why would you put Toad in there? Why can't you just throw fucking Peach or like Diddy Kong or something? Like some character I recognize.
Yeah,
There's
just
just some
Diddy.
yellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would you put like this little yellow toadstool asshole? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to play that guy. Who's that guy? Fuck him.
I just want to know what would have made you happy at if at Nintendo. What
don't know,
would they have had to have done?
That's a good question. Okay.
Ghost.
I think that they would have had.
Fatal Frame showing that you're actually searching for ghosts in your house.
Did you ever play the 3DS
Oh,
one? or
yeah,
something?
more
the
AR
augmented
stuff.
reality one?
Yeah,
That would kind of be
and
cool.
actually I got.
Oh, and because you can detach it and you can go off with it, you're in
Yeah.
your house. But then that would be like how far would the range be?
That would
And
be
there's
cool.
a war.
That would be
I
cool
know
if
that
that
totally
would.
wouldn't happen, but you've
I don't
got,
know, they
he's
put-
got his Wiimote and his nunchuck. He gets into the car on the camera. Okay, I'm now the gunner, and now I'm shooting
Something
around.
like that.
Oh,
I could see that where they could actually kind of break the mold of the morass
Hire
of,
this guy.
of generic shooters
Hire
because
this guy.
you could do this thing where you could fly like fighter jets and you could have like Crimson Skies would be a great idea. For that.
Oh, Crimson Skies would be awesome.
Where you have like 4 guys, everyone could bring their fucking tablets and like
But I think you can only use 2 tablets on the
Star
console.
Wars. I could see a Star
Or,
Wars game
hey,
coming out with
the
that.
third guy just looks at the camera
Yeah.
or at the TV, so that's his plane. You got 3-player,
I could see, and I
So
hate-
basically, we just wanted bigger, more impressive games.
I would have liked to have seen an RPG out of that somewhere.
Oh, yes.
using the 2 screen because you even
Yes,
brought it up.
exactly. That is the thing that is really useful for having an inventory system right there. Now I think that Nintendo's going to be caught in a catch-up match because next year, like you said, we think that they're going to show off the next Xbox, they're going to show off the next PlayStation 4. What is Nintendo going to show
You'd
off?
think.
They're
You'd
big
think.
games.
However,
They'd have to show off the bigger games.
What after a year? What did Sony have to offer for the PS Vita?
Yes, they showed one
They
show
showed
one gameplay.
Assassin's Creed. They showed
No, they
Assass-
showed Call of Duty, but there was
And
they
then
didn't show
Black Ops.
nothing. Right, Call of Duty, Black Ops, and Assassin's Creed. Those
That's
were
it.
only
After
two.
a year.
Exactly.
After a fucking year.
I think Sony are they giving up on the Vita? What is
I
that?
don't know, but like, what the way I saw that, the whole lineup for the PS Vita, it's like, you know, like when you were in junior high and you got a book report at the beginning of the semester, and then you had like all year to do it, and you didn't do it.
The last minute, you're like,
But
shit.
it had to be 10 pages.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, you had 4, and then what you did was you made the font like 14 point, and then you double spaced it, and then you shrunk the margins in, so it was like this like 10 pages of shit, and then the teacher, like you hand it in, the teacher looks at you and goes, "That's all you." That's it.
Are you serious?
Are you fucking serious with this? Like that's what the PS Vita line. It was worse than that. Like how
Yeah.
could you had a year?
Yeah.
You had a year. From the
It's
PS
almost
Vita.
as if, like those two are very big games, Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, huge games, huge fan bases, but it seems like that's just geared towards people who already own the PS Vita, not, hey, we're gonna sell more of these, look at all these titles that are coming to it. There was really none of that. It's almost like they were just trying to stop the bleeding rather
But they've
than
got Super Smash Brothers. I mean, they've got their All-Stars.
All-Stars.
You had a year, and all you could do was throw an Assassin's Creed trailer out there, and then you didn't even show Black Ops. You showed like a fucking poster. You couldn't like have Atlas
Yeah.
fart out some generic JRPG. You couldn't. You couldn't fucking like
Hey, Atlas is
port
busy as hell, I
Street
hear.
Fighter. You
They're
couldn't
doing a lot of
fucking port King of Fighters and just like show that shit. You were like, well, and Black Ops will be there. We swear. Fuck you.
It'll be cool.
You had a year.
Oh.
You couldn't have had an animator just lie?
Yeah.
You couldn't lie?
I'm pretty sure that if you had a PS Vita, you were a little disappointed.
I've seen companies lie.
Disappointed. Did you buy a PS Vita?
Yes!
Okay, that's why you're so
That's why
angry.
you're
I
so
was
angry.
like, this guy is
No games.
fired up.
You know what? I play on fucking PS
You were
Vita.
the fool.
I play
You were the
Persona
fool.
3, which I could play anywhere.
Yeah.
Year.
Well, they did some more stuff. They did
If
some
I'd-
cross-play stuff.
If I'd have known your asses weren't going to do anything in a year, you could have called me and I could have made up a video.
They did do some cross-play stuff. They said, hey, you could take All-Stars on the go with you, I think. But my question is, do you have to pay for 2 copies of the game? Or is it one copy of the game across? Because
now,
one
the-
copy would be pretty awesome if all
I
you
don't know,
could-
because the thing in the commercial they keep showing is like they're playing MLB, and he's playing on the PS3, and then he like picks up his Vita and he goes off running and gets hit by a car because
Yeah,
he's
I'm-
not looking at the street. No, but I don't know if you need to buy 2 copies.
That sounds like you could just buy one copy. If it's just one copy, that's
If
great.
you had to buy 2, that's bullshit.
Otherwise, it's bullshit. You beat me
But
to
I'm
the
thinking,
punch.
I'm thinking though you have to buy 2. Because that
I
wouldn't
don't
you? Come on,
They
okay.
would do.
Sony, evil.
I think, they want to be able to promote the Vita, so I think that it might be free. I'm pretty sure that it would be stupid to try to force us to buy 2 copies because nobody would do it. Nobody's going to buy a PS Vita in that case.
My closing thoughts on the Nintendo conference.
Yes.
Now, this is just from a purely mechanical standpoint, as a public entertainer, as a speaker. I'm not the most kind of coherent and articulate guy out there.
Yes, you are.
But was that conference not really stiff and weird?
Yeah, it was. You're talking Nintendo, right?
Yeah. And I'm not talking like they didn't speak-
Zombie Reggie was pretty cool, but except for it started to kind of fall off his face and not really
Like,
work. But
honestly,
that
the
was
guys speaking Japanese were the most personable dudes up
Yeah.
there. Like Miyamoto and the other guy, I forget his name, the other guy who was in charge of the, what was he putting off?
Speaking of stiff, though, I think I'd rather it be like that than, Ubisoft's press conference. We have
Where's
Toby
it-
Turner and
you got-
that
you got
boner lady.
girl boner?
Yeah, lady, female boner. What the hell is that? At least it was organized.
See, there's such this weird line where Nintendo was all stiff and weird, and then Ubisoft was fucking clown shoes.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. There's this you gotta walk this line where you're entertaining, but you're not goofy, and you're also not really just fucking. It was actually almost. It was really uncomfortable.
Stale.
It was kind of uncomfortable at one point, where the president of Nintendo, he introduces the guy behind the 3DS, and he's like, I'd like to bring out Marty, and then Marty kind of like walks out like he's walking to an execution, and then he's like, now we've only given Marty a few minutes, and so there's like this,
minutes.
there's like this 3-second thud,
It was awful.
and then he looks at the guy and goes, thanks for that.
Only 3 minutes?
Only 3 minutes?
What?
Where is the love?
Do? It was awful.
Here
Oh,
are
my-
some games on the I was like, dude,
Have us do your presentation.
I'd love to do this for you. I
Nintendo,
promise not to.
Xbox, Sony, we will be
I
happy
promise
to do it.
not to swear that much.
So, no, grade it. I want to know your final opinion on the Nintendo press conference. I'm going to have to give me...
Okay, I got.
You think it was better than the Microsoft? Oh, God
Yes.
damn it, you didn't see the mic. Oh, I thought you said
No,
you
yes,
did.
it is. I saw it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it
was
was better.
better
Than,
than
I'm trying to
Microsoft.
decide if it was better or worse than Ubisoft. Okay.
No,
it was.
no. Ubisoft's
No.
press conference was good. The games were good.
Yeah, the games.
The whole comedy and
Yeah,
that was just outrageous.
The hosts
Clown
were atrocious, but
Yeah, hosts were-
I walked out of there more excited about the games there,
Yeah.
which isn't saying much. Honestly, C minus.
C minus. You're giving it that high. I thought
That's
you would go
about
D.
that's about what I would do. I'm thinking about a C minus 2.
Because I saw the potential there. I saw the potential
potential is there.
for the party
didn't-
gameplay,
they just
for the
didn't
cooperative
it was
gameplay.
just average.
They didn't show they didn't have that big gun. You when the lights go down, you think something. They're gonna announce something.
Honestly-
something. When those
honestly,
lights
the-
went off, the Batman thing. Something that's like, look, this is why you buy it.
Most of the games I saw that I was excited about were for the 3DS, which I never thought I'd say that. But I mean, really, the Mario games look good. The Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS looked good.
But they showed that last
I
year.
know
It
they
was
showed
like,
that.
oh yay!
And then there was
Oh,
that really
great.
weird. There was that really weird New Super Mario Brothers 2, where it was like, what if Goldmember made a Super Mario Brothers game where he's like, I love gold, and it's like,
No point. No point.
it's just collecting glittery things. It's all shiny.
C minus. There you have it, folks. Nintendo, who we thought would probably win out. I thought that they would come
thought
with
they
their
would.
big guns this year.
This was
But-
their big time. Honestly, you got to figure it was.
Yeah. This was their year because nobody else had anything, right?
Honestly,
Microsoft was coasting.
What's weird is I honestly thought they would have at least thrown out there that we're gonna do a Zelda game. Because they said what would a
Elaborate on that demo of the Zelda that we saw at the premiere.
Because they specifically said what would a Nintendo console be without Mario? And you could there's really the big three there. You've got Mario, you've got Zelda, and you've got Metroid. So they kind of left out there's two of the Holy Trilogy they kind of left out of there. Now I've been critical of the series in the past, but they're kind of compulsory, at this point.
But Zeldas have never really come out at the same time the consoles launch, have
Yeah,
they?
the Wii was the only one. that
Skyward
did
Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Okay. So maybe they're holding off because when these other big boys launch their Xbox Next and the PlayStation 4, that's probably what they're.
I don't see actually a PlayStation 4 or a new Xbox coming out the way that Microsoft showed it today.
Next year?
No,
I don't
they're
see it.
coming. They're coming, my friend. No,
I
they're
think
already
maybe
in
2 or
development.
3 years.
No,
2
it's
or 3
already
years.
started in the no, my friend. It's already started
Really?
production factories. Yes, they're coming. Everybody
Wow.
knows it. Yes, they are.
That's why I'm not an
And-
Xbox.
and putting everything
I
I've
don't
read.
know.
Honestly, the thing I think Nintendo did best was what they didn't do, and what they didn't do was announce a line of anonymous, identical first-person shooters. They didn't do that.
Good.
This would be great for first-person shooter.
Because honestly, the games I'm most looking forward to are kind of the strategy games, the team-based games, the party games, the music games, and I know music games are kind of passé, a little bit more passé than they used to be, but
You could do a great strategy tactical game on
yeah,
Wii U.
you could definitely see in fact, there's a lot of games that you can get on Steam. Remember Frozen Synapse? you can see Frozen Synapse or something like that working really
Yeah.
well on the Wii U. As soon as some real innovators get hold of the Wii U hardware,
we're gonna
I
probably
think-
be eating our words. Because there's some really, like,
No,
I mean,
no,
that was a really cool idea.
'cause I think
we
the
need
best-
to show that to the Fatal Frame
No,
developers.
the best thing I saw at that conference was the potential.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to eat my words because I'm saying the launch title's underwhelming, but the potential is there for innovation, and I can really see that panning out in a few years.
But I was not
It's
convinced.
just not happening this year.
Right, not convinced this year. Sorry.
So we've probably rambled on for quite a while. The
Yeah.
show is about to go on. It's probably around noon, so we're going to go in. Joe has got me. He's very generously offered to get me in to see XCOM. No, not that one.
Not betrayal.
Loyalty.
What is the opposite of betrayal? Loyalty!
We're going to see loyalty.
It's a new name of the game.
And if I see betrayal, I'm going to burn this fucking building down.
No, they didn't even bring it this year. They were like, you know
They
what?
didn't bring it?
No, there's some major problems behind that one.
Scared of me.
I think they are. They're like,
That's
oh
why
shit,
they
that's...
did it year. That's why when
They keep retooling it, Spoonie, and showing-
when they see his face.
They're like, is it ready for Spoonie yet? No.
It's going to be like a fucking Kill Bill. I'm just like...
So excited about the new XCOM. So we'll have coverage of that for you later.
Okay, we'll be back.